This is my friend Frank the Skeleton, and he's going to help me to be able to learn origin and insertions on muscles. There are 7 different muscles that we want to do this process on. We want to use the tape and the string provided with the Carolina kit to use the string as the muscle and then to attach it with the tape. So let's go through 7 muscles on Frank, on my skeleton. I hope you've named yours. Biceps brachii, and it originates on the coracoid process. The coracoid process, I hope you can see that, of the scapula. And that muscle then goes down and inserts on the radial tuberosity. See that radius down there? That's the radial tuberosity. So that's the biceps brachii. Okay, that's muscle number 1. Originates on the coracoid process of the scapula and inserts on the radial tuberosity of the radius. It's the inferior margin of the glenoid fossa, inferior margin, and the posterior humerus, and it inserts down on the ulnar process of the ulna, the ulnar process of the ulna. So let's go up again on the triceps brachii. We see the origin on the inferior margin of the glenoid fossa and on the posterior humerus, that it inserts down on the olecranon process of the ulna. The biceps brachii on the front is to flex the arm, and the triceps brachii on the back is to extend the arm. Okay, so now let's go over and look at a couple of muscles of the torso. This muscle right here would be the pectoralis major. It originates on the clavicle, on the sternal end of the clavicle, and it inserts on the intertubercular groove and the greater tubercle on the head of the humerus. So that would be what? The pectoralis major, originating on the sternal end of the clavicle and inserting on the greater tubercle and the intertubercular groove of the humerus. Back here to the deltoid muscle. The deltoid muscle originates up there on the acromial process of the scapula, also a little bit on the spine, and then it goes down and inserts on the deltoid tuberosity of the humerus, which is a little bit in the front. Okay, so this would be what? This would be the deltoid muscle on the shoulder, originates on the acromial process of the scapula and also on the spine, and inserts down there anteriorly on the deltoid tuberosity of the humerus. Okay, this is the rectus femoris in the front of the thigh, and it originates on the anterior inferior spine of the ilium. See, that's your ilium bone, and then it goes down and inserts on the tibial tuberosity on the tibia. Okay, and so see, that's the prime mover of the quadriceps. The what? The rectus femoris, the straight muscle down the thigh, originating on the anterior inferior spine of the ilium, and then inserting on the tibial tuberosity by way of the patellar tendon. Okay, now, it originates on the ischial tuberosity. See, that's the ischial tuberosity. And then it goes down and inserts on the laterally on the head of the fibula. See, that bone's the fibula. So this is the biceps femoris. Don't get it mixed up with the rectus femoris, which is on the front. The biceps femoris is the prime mover of the hamstring group, and it originates on the ischial tuberosity. See, that's the ischium, and then it goes down there and inserts laterally on the head of the fibula, the little lateral bone on the fibula. So that's the biceps femoris. And now our last muscle is down here in the lower leg, and it is the gastrocnemius. The gastrocnemius originates up here on the lateral and medial condyle of the tibia, and it inserts on the posterior part by way of the Achilles tendon onto the posterior calcaneus bone. That's the last one. Gastrocnemius originates on the lateral and medial condyle of the femur. I think I said the wrong bone before. It originates on the lateral and medial condyle of the femur, and then it inserts down there by way of the Achilles tendon onto the calcaneus, the posterior part of the calcaneus bone. Okay, so those are some muscles that you can study the origin and insertion on your skeleton, and it's a good way to keep track of those things, because there's 600 muscles, 600 origins, 600 insertions, 600 actions, and 600 innervations. So I hope this helps you to learn a little bit about origin, insertion, action on the skeleton. Musculoskeletal system.